Hello and welcome to the Grandfather's Cave. In recent videos, we have taken a look at the base classes of the Avern Fantasy RPG. That is a Dungeons & Dragons edition that I have made based on Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 and earlier editions of the game. The goal of the Avern Fantasy RPG is to make a game with all the tactical nuances of the newer Dungeons & Dragons edition, but with a lot more flavor from the old editions. As mentioned in earlier videos, we took a look at the base classes. Those are the Cleric, the Scoundrel, the Warrior, and the Wizard. And in this video, we are going to start looking at the Specialist classes. Specialist classes are the classes that are not base classes, but are still an inherent part of the Dungeons & Dragons legacy. And today, we're going to take a look at the Barbarian and at the Bard. If you're new to this channel, remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the future episodes where we reinvigorate the Dungeons & Dragons game. Now let's roll initiative and let's get started. To start off, I want to explain the concept of Specialist classes. The Specialist classes, as it is right now, are the Barbarian, the Bard, the Monk, the Paladin, the Ranger, and the Druid. These have been a staple of the Dungeons & Dragons game since the AD&D days. However, in this version of the game, one has to qualify for these classes. This somewhat resembles the prestige classes of Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, but should not be confused with those, because the Specialist classes are not difficult to qualify for, and the developmental steps that a character takes through the base classes are meant to underline the Specialist class as a choice, and to empower the character in that role. A character of a base class can first transition into a Specialist class after 5th level, and after entering the new Specialist class, that character quickly acquires the trademark abilities of the classes. The Specialist classes have a progression from level 1 to 15, and thus, when a character enters a Specialist class, that character can stay with that class until the end of the game, if that is at level 20. In contrast to Prestige classes, Specialist classes do not have a feat or skill tax. Any prerequisite feats or skills are necessary to function in that Specialist class. In addition, the Specialist classes are not niche. It's not like you're choosing to be a god of the Royal Palace or an elven envoy from the Unseelie Court. The Specialist classes are broad but well defined. Now let's go wild and take a look at the first Specialist class, the Barbarian. The Barbarian of the Avern rules is nothing like the Barbarian of the 3.5 and later editions of the game, not even like the Pathfinder 2e Barbarian. This Barbarian class is a callback to earlier editions, where the Barbarian was not a raging one-trick pony. Barbarians in this game are tribal warriors. They have strong survival skills, are rugged and self-reliant, and while they work well as frontline warriors, they are also expert scouts, having both strong survival and stealth skills. In order to qualify for the Barbarian class, any character must be non-lawful, have the power attack and toughness feats, have skill proficiency with the survival skill, and have acquired the warrior's tenacious class feature, making that character resistant to the shaken condition. Barbarians are the toughest characters in this game. They have a d12 hit dice and a +4 stamina bonus for levels 11 and beyond. Barbarians have the best attack bonus progression available in the game, on par with the warrior. At first level, it's +1, and by 15 levels, it's +15. And with regard to saving throws, the Barbarian have good fortitude and reflex saves. Their class skills are acrobatics, athletics, nature, perception, and stealth. And Barbarians gain no additional weapon or armor proficiencies. Already at first level, the Barbarian gains an armor class bonus. This armor class bonus only applies when the Barbarian is wearing light armor or no armor, and when unencumbered. At first level, this armor class bonus is +1, but it increases at every 3rd level and maxes out at level 13 with a +5. In addition, if a Barbarian is wearing light armor, medium armor, or no armor, they get a +10 bonus to their base speed. And being proficient with the survival skill, Barbarians also gain the tracking class feature. This class feature allows the Barbarian character to add half their level rounded up to any survival skill checks made to follow tracks. And lastly, at first level, they gain the Uncanny Dodge ability. Basically, this means that Barbarians do not gain the flat-footed condition when they're surprised. Now, at 2nd level, you will start to see the difference between this Barbarian and other editions of the Barbarian. At 2nd level and at the even level afterwards, they gain what is called a Primal power. In all, the Barbarian will gain 7 Primal powers, and the player choices of these Primal powers allow for great customizability, ensuring that no two Barbarians feel the same. The Primal powers available to Barbarians are the following. Ambush. When a Barbarian makes an attack with a melee weapon or a thrown weapon against a surprised opponent, they automatically deal ambush damage. As you can see on the Barbarian table at first level, this is just +1d6. But this bonus damage increases as Barbarian advances in level, and by level 13, that bonus damage is plus 2d12. Back protection. If the barbarian is attacked while surprised, they may immediately afterwards take a 5-foot step, thus repositioning themselves, and counterattack against that opponent with a melee weapon. This requires that the barbarian has a melee weapon in hand, or that they have the quick draw feat, in which case they would be allowed to draw the weapon and attack immediately. The next primal prowess that I want to explain is the Furious Attack. This is what most resembles the Rage ability of later edition barbarians. This ability is usable only once per day. However, it lasts for a number of rounds equal to half the barbarian's constitution score. When in this state, the barbarian gains a plus 2 bonus on attack and damage rolls with melee or thrown weapons, as well as all combat bonus checks. In addition, while using the Furious Attack ability, the barbarian does not suffer the penalties associated with the follow-up attacks. Follow-up attacks were briefly mentioned in the previous video about the warrior, and will be explained in much greater detail in a future video about the combat system of the Avern fantasy RPG. The bonus provided by the Furious Attack ability also increases as the barbarian gains levels, and maxes out at 17th level with a plus 6 to all attack and damage rolls, as well as combat maneuver checks. This brings us back to the alphabetical order, so that we may look at Berserker. The Berserk Primal Prowess requires that the barbarian has the Furious Attack prowess, and ensures that every time the barbarian uses the Furious Attack, they also gain a damage reduction. The damage reduction provided by the Berserk Prowess is equal to the bonus provided by the Furious Attack ability. The next ability is called Call the Horde. This is a callback to AD&D barbarians that were able to summon a barbarian horde. However, it has been scaled down here in order to make it more balanced. Using this ability requires that the barbarian spends a week mustering a barbarian horde. And in order to do so, they must be in an area that they consider a favorite terrain. At the end of this week, the barbarian will gather 10 tribal warriors of first level for every level of the barbarian class that the character has. In addition to these first level warriors, there will also be a third level veteran warrior for every 10 first level barbarian warriors. And for every 10 veteran warriors, there will also be a 5th level barbarian war leader. These tribal warriors only have warrior class levels, and while they may stay in the service of the barbarian for 30 days, they must be assigned a task, and they will depart as soon as the 30 days have passed or as soon as they have completed the task. Camouflage. While wearing light or no armor, the barbarian can use stealth to hide in their favorite terrain, even if there's nothing granting either cover or concealment. And of course, the barbarian has the option to take favorite terrain. A barbarian character may only choose one favorite terrain. When in their favorite terrain, barbarians make initiative checks with a -1, and this is positive, since a low initiative is good in these rules. In addition, they also gain a +2 bonus on nature checks, perception checks, stealth checks, and survival skill checks. And finally, when traveling in their favorite terrain, a barbarian does not leave any tracks or trails if they do not desire so, and thus they cannot be tracked. Healer. Of course, many barbarians are self-reliant. This primal prowess demonstrates the barbarian's ability to apply remedies and treat injuries, and thus increases the barbarian's natural healing ability. A barbarian may also take the improved uncanny dodge ability as a primal prowess. This ability ensures that the barbarian cannot be flanked except by the most skilled scoundrels. Leaping and springing affords the barbarian a bonus on acrobatics and athletic skill checks equal to the barbarian's level. Primal tenacity functions as the warrior's tenacious ability, but ensures that the barbarian will not be affected by the frightened condition. And lastly, Second Wind allows the barbarian to immediately recover a number of stamina points equal to 1d6 plus their constitution modifier for every 2 barbarian levels they have gained. The last ability the barbarian gains when they reach 15th level is called Horde Lord. If that character has not already taken Call the Horde, then they acquire this primal prowess when they reach 15th level. If they have already taken Call the Horde prior to 15th level, they may choose to spend an entire month instead of a week to gather their horde, and the host they can summon is 10 times larger than indicated under the Call the Horde ability. I hope you can recognize the flexibility and the flavor that I have tried to introduce into the Barbarian Specialist class here. Now let's move on to the Bard. The Bard is probably the one character that is harder to qualify to. In order to become a Bard, a character must have a neutral alignment. In addition, they must have proficiency with the Perform skill and be able to play percussion, string or wind instruments or sing. In addition, they must be able to prepare and cast rank 1 spells, they must be proficient with all martial weapons, and they must have acquired at least 1 scoundrel virtue. Bards have the 8 hit dice and a +2 stamina bonus at 11th level and beyond. In addition, they gain proficiency with acrobatics, arcana, athletics, culture, engineering, mercantile, mysticism, nature, perception, perform, social, stealth, and thiefcraft. However, bards gain no additional proficiencies with any weapons or armor. Bards have an average attack bonus progression. They start with a +0 attack bonus and reach a +11 bonus at 15th level. Their good saving throws are reflex and will. Bards have a spellcasting progression that is based on a previously acquired spellcasting ability. Thus, a bard that had clerical spells before becoming a bard can progress with their clerical spellcasting, and bards that started as a wizard will be able to continue their wizard spellcasting progression. However, bards gain 1 caster level at first level and an additional caster level at every odd level as well. Thus, in total, they gain 8 caster levels during the course of their 15-level career. In addition, bards may choose to use their presence as their spellcasting ability score or continue spellcasting with whatever ability score they used prior to becoming a bard. At first level, a bard gains the Bardic performance ability. A bard may use this ability a number of times per day equal to 3 plus their presence modifier. At first level, the bard selects one of the following Bardic performances that they are able to use. Countersong allows the bard to negate the harmful effects of sonic and language-dependent magic abilities within 30 feet of the bard. When using this ability, the bard may make a power check, which is made by rolling a d20, adding half the bard's level and the bard's presence modifier. And if this roll is equal to or higher than the power check of the spell or ability that was affecting the bard's allies, then the bard's countersong has effectively negated that ability. A bard may also choose Fascinate. Within this area, the bard may choose to affect a number of creatures equal to 3 plus half the bard's level. These creatures must make a will saving throw against the Bardic performance power check, and if they fail, they become entranced by the Bardic performance, taking a -4 penalty on perception checks or other checks to react to the environment. Inspire Competence allows the bard to affect allies within 30 feet, granting them a +2 bonus on skill checks to one particular skill of the bard's choice. This modifier increases by an additional +1 for every 3 levels of the bard and reaches a +5 at 13th level. Inspire Courage allows the bard to bolster his allies, granting them a +1 bonus on will saving throws and on both attack and weapon damage rolls. At every 4 levels, this increases by an additional +1 and maxes out at 13th level with a +4 bonus. The following abilities have a level prerequisite larger than first level, and thus the bard can only take them at later levels. Dirge of Doom allows the bard to cause enemies within 30 feet to become shaken, and Suggestion allows the bard to use an effect akin to the Suggestion spell on any creatures that they have already affected with the Fascinate Bardic performance. A bard may also affect allies with Inspire Greatness. Inspire Greatness grants allies 2d10 additional temporary stamina points, a +2 bonus on fortitude saving throws, and the target is considered to have 2 hit dice more than normal when determining the effect of spells and abilities that affect that character. Soothing Performance allows the bard to heal 1 creature per bard level for an amount equal to 3d8 health points. And in addition, the affected creatures become immune to fatigue, sickness, and shaking conditions. As mentioned in an earlier video, the fatigue condition is very prevalent in these rules during combat, and thus the ability to negate fatigue is very strong. Frightening Tune allows the bard to cause enemies within 30 feet to become frightened. And Inspire Heroics allows the bard to grant a +4 bonus on saving throws and armor class to allies within the 30-foot range. Mass Suggestion functions just like the Suggestion ability, except that it allows the bard to use the Suggestion ability simultaneously on a number of different creatures. And lastly, as a capstone ability, the bard may choose to take the Deadly Performance at 15th level. When using this ability, the bard may instantly kill a target within 30 feet, causing them to die from joy, sorrow, or terror when witnessing the bard's performance. At second level, bards gain the Bardic Knowledge ability. This grants them a +1 bonus on all Arcana, Culture, Engineering, Mysticism, and Nature checks, and in addition, this bonus increases to a maximum of +5 at 14th level. At second level, they also gain Eldritch Lore. When gaining this ability, a bard may select 2 spells from any spell list that is not their own and add them to their spellbook. Thus, a bard with wizard spellcasting would be able to spice up their spell list with divine spells, or a bard with clerical spells would be able to do the same with arcane spells. At third level, and at every subsequent odd level, a bard gains a Bardic Virtue. A Bardic Virtue is a very flexible ability that the bard can use to select either a Bardic Performance, a Scoundrel's Virtue, a Combat feat, or an Eldritch feat. Thus, this gives bards a lot of variety and customizability that I don't think that they had in earlier editions. Thus, the Bard is not just a spellcaster with Inspire Courage. Now the Bard can truly be a flexible character with a variety of spells and can choose to focus on performance, on spellcasting, on combat abilities, or on scoundrel abilities, or can make a mix that is uniquely their own. At 4th level, Bards gain the Loremaster ability. The Loremaster ability basically allows the Bard to take 10 on lore checks. Thus, they can, instead of rolling at 20, they can choose to just have 10 as their basic result when making Arcana, Culture, Engineering, Mysticism, and Nature skill checks. At later levels, 10 simply becomes their baseline. That means that even if they roll at 20, the roll will never count as anything lower than a 10. At later levels, at level 9, 12, and 15, they gain the once per day ability to take 10 on one of these ability checks. That is, they do not need to roll at 20, they are considered to have rolled a natural 20 on the roll. And the last ability on this list that the Bard gains is the Jack of all trades ability. They gain this at 10th level, and from this point on, the Bard is considered to be proficient with all skills in the game. So, this sums up the first specialist classes in the Avern system, the Bard and the Barbarian. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the future videos where I will go into detail with the Druid, the Monk, Paladin, and the Ranger. Make sure to leave a comment. Are you a longtime fan of the Barbarian or the Bard? And how do you like the rework I've given these classes? As with all previous videos in this series, you'll find a link to a PDF in the description of this video where you can see all the details about these specialist classes. And until the next time, keep slaying.